Hi, my name's Scott, and I'm here to try to replace the nut on my mandolin, so I thought I'd make a video of it if you're trying to do this. I hope I can give you some pointers here. I've never done this before, so it's my first time. Anyway, the problem here is with this mandolin, and as you can see, the spacing of the strings on this nut are almost equal all the way across, which is not great when you're trying to play something. It's hard to finger things up here when the strings are so close together. So I'm going to try to replace the nut with these here I ordered from AliExpress, and I measured them and they look to be exactly the same size, or at least very close to the one that's on this mandolin. And as you can see, the slots are already cut in there. This is made out of bone, and I'm hoping it'll fit. So the first thing to do is we're going to have to take the strings, at least get them away from the tuning pegs here. Some people will tell you to just take the strings off altogether and put a new set on. I'm going to try to save these because they're actually new strings, and I'm going to need to put new strings on anyway at some point. So let's start by unwinding all of these. A friend of mine who's a luthier told me one way to do this to save the strings, keep them off the top, is to, well, I see this one's already come out. So I'm not so sure this is going to be worthwhile, but I'll give it a shot. He said to just kind of tie them like that, 4 strings at a time, and just keep them out of the way. So that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, so the strings are off, and now we can start to look at removing the nut. And the first thing I want to see is if it's in there tight, and it is. I have a feeling this one is glued in. But one of the first things we have to do here, I don't want to show you this, is this truss rod here. Let's see if I can show you a side view of what this one looks like. As you can see, this area here, you can see how the nut actually fits down into a little groove right there. Part of what's holding it in is the truss rod cover right here. And there are a couple of Phillips head screws for that, which I'm going to take off. But then also, we have to make sure we get this out of here. It could be glued, and it's not going to be easy to just knock it out from here because that groove on the bottom is there. So you have to either kind of lift it out or just wiggle it, but let's see how it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is get those screws off. Boy, these are really tight. Really tight. And they go way down. They're pretty long. I did not expect this. That's how long they are. And I haven't gotten this one to turn yet, so. I'm a little concerned about this. Here it goes. This mandolin, as I understand it, this is a D'Angelico. It was made in China, and it was made, I think, 6 or 7 years ago, and they didn't really sell these. I guess they sold a few. I think the original plan was to sell them, and for some reason D'Angelico stopped selling them. It's a well-made instrument. It's unfortunately, the electronics in it don't work very well. As you can see, the old nut sits below the face of the headstock, so it will have to be lifted out or taken out of the side. So I am, quite frankly, not sure exactly how I'm going to get that out of there. I suppose you should go in from the side. But it's not budging at all. I also see there's a crack in the nut right up here. I want to see if I can show you this. There's a crack in the nut right here. So I know sometimes people will hit them from the side. I don't know if, like from here. But I don't think that's going to be very easy. There should be a way to kind of pry it up from below, but it is in there solidly. That's what I feared with this. I should show you, I have these nut blanks, by the way, and it should fit pretty well because they line up really well with the nut, and it looks to be just about the right width and depth. So all I have to do is get the other one out of there. This is the thing that I went online to try to see how other people get them out of there. A lot of the nuts aren't set up this way, though. I see some people, like I say, they'll kind of tap it from here, and then I can try that and see if that does anything. Ah, that did move it. That did move it. Not enough. The thing I don't want to do is to ruin this molding here. But I don't know if you can see it. It is moving. So maybe I just kind of try to wiggle it back and forth and see if it'll come out. It seems to be getting a little looser. So I'm just going to try to get it to, I don't know how to get it to lift up, but it's definitely getting looser than that. I don't know if you could see that. But it is loosened up. I wish there's a way I could lift it up kind of from below, but it doesn't seem to budge. I mean, it doesn't. It seems in there really tight. It rocks back and forth, but it's not. And I'm a little concerned about cracking it on the side. It'd be nice if I could take this nut here and kind of knock it from the edge, but it's too short, you know what I mean? Suppose I could put it this way and try to knock it down. It really doesn't do anything. Ah, there it went. There it went. And it's out. And that worked. Fantastic. That's good news. So it's out of there. So now we get down to getting the new one in. I should just see if it'll fit the way it is. And it actually might just fit the way it is. That's not bad. Looks to be the right width. Now I have to get it out of here. Here, I'll just show you on the edge of it that these are, they're pretty close. I'm going to show you from the end here. And you can see that the old one is just a little bit shorter than the new one, and I can use a little sandpaper to get those exactly even. And then on the edge, they look darn close to me. I'd say that's good to go. Boy, I'm lucky. This fit perfectly. Now all I have to do is be concerned about the height. I think that's about as close as you want to be. One of the things I'm thinking is, should I just try it like it is? It's pre-cut. I'll just try it like it is and see if it works. Well, after thinking it over, I didn't wind up sanding anything. I just decided everything looks close enough to me. I think exactly the way the nut was cut from the factory should work pretty well. So here it is all together. Take a look at how the strings look up here up top. You can see how nicely they are paired as opposed to being equal all the way across, which should make it a lot easier to play. So everything sounds good. So I'm lucky. I was able to just drop that new nut in. The key was to find the right size and to buy some nuts that were pre-spaced, and I don't think I would have done any better job if I had put the slots in there myself. So it plays much easier than it did when all the strings were evenly spaced. Now everything is paired the way it should be. Just take it easy when you're taking out the old nut, and measure carefully when you do buy a new nut. I didn't have to cut the nut from scratch, which really helped me out. I think that was something that if I had tried to do it from scratch, probably wouldn't have been able to do it. But here we go. The mandolin's back in service now. Thanks for watching.